Surviving infidelity. My beloved wife cheated on me and my daughter isn't mine. How can I move forward as well as shake angry feelings? This is gonna be a long one. My wife and I were married for 21 years. I figured it was one of those miracle marriages because we barely argued, seemed to always be the best of friends, etc. Well, our 15-year-old daughter received a 23andMe thing for her birthday from a friend. And of course, it said we weren't related. She had me do a swab, as well as her mother and her 14-year-old brother. Only her brother and I seemed to be related. So, I did a paternity test afterwards and lo and behold, she wasn't my freaking child. My ex-wife cried and pleaded for me to hear her out, but I just went numb to her. It would be one thing to cheat, but to find out the light of my life isn't even too related to me, killed me. Don't get me wrong, I love my daughter with all of my heart. She's still my daughter no matter what. But what's scaring me most is my seemingly vindictive desires. I've never been like this, and I know it's out of anger, but I want her to suffer so bad. The kids absolutely hate her. Which on one end helps that desire, but I know that deep down, she is still their mother and I don't really want them to hate her. Her parents and siblings all are mortified at her. Her sister hasn't spoken to her in a couple months. We all grew up together, so it hit hard for everyone. Again, this makes me feel great, which in turn scares me, because I don't actually want her life to go into shambles. But I can't help feel euphoric when I learn something in her life is falling apart. Both children are living with me, as they don't view their mother in a favorable light at all right now. I'm thinking about having the talk about them going to talk to her, because as of now, they refuse. The part that breaks my heart the most is that my daughter seems to be overcompensating her roles of a daughter. She makes sure to tell me how much she loves me, and is in essence, being the perfect daughter. But I can tell it's because she knows that she isn't biologically mine, but she desperately wants me to know how much she values me. I'm actually going to talk to her tonight about that. To tell her that she doesn't have to act differently. I just really want to know how to shake the sadness and angry, vindictive feelings. I want to move forward as well as help my children move forward, so they can worry about school and being teens. Please, any advice will help. Now for the next story. 11 years together, with 2 years of fidelity. So, where to begin? I was with my now ex-wife and mother of my children for 11 years. I was living blissfully unaware, thinking we had a healthy/happy relationship. Sure. At the 5-year mark of dating, she left me for a few months and started dating a guy from her work. But she came back and expressed her severe regret and swore nothing happened while we were together. We got engaged 6 months after that, and had our first son the next year. We finally were about to get married when a close friend of mine broke the news. My soon-to-be wife had been cheating on me with a few different guys for years. My close friend had a friend that worked in the same restaurant as my girlfriend, and said it was widely known that she was having an affair with 2 different people. Needless to say, I didn't believe a word. I confronted my fiancée and she denied everything, and our wedding went on as scheduled. My no longer close friend sent me a note apologizing for giving me the bad news, but standing by what was said. Fast forward another year and we welcome our second son, and life is good. 2 beautiful happy boys, career is going well, she is able to be a stay-at-home mother and all seems great. We get to a point where she expresses to me that she is feeling a bit run down from the day-to-day monotony, and makes plans to go country line dancing with her girlfriends once a week. I think it's a great idea, it gives her a recharge and gives me a night alone with my kiddos. This goes on for a year or so, and again I am still blissful. Then the shoe dropped. In December, she sends me a text message while I am at work that she is moving out. Obviously shocked and devastated, I ask for answers and explanation, but only receive, "I haven't been happy for a long time." By the time I get home, she has moved all of her things out. She had cleaned out our savings account and had been renting an apartment for the past several weeks. My world is destroyed and flipped upside down. I go from coming home to my loving family and children daily, to not knowing when I will see anyone. Just to compound things, within 5 days, she is openly dating a guy from the country bar she had been visiting with her friends. Fast forward 6 months, we have arranged joint custody, spousal support, and are communicating quite well for the sake of the boys. I bring up the rumors of her cheating before we were ever married, and she finally confirms it's true and so much more. She had only been truly faithful the first year or so we dated, and had been with a number of men the rest of our relationship. Whenever she was out with her friends from work after getting off, she was with different guys. Now I don't even know for sure that my kids are mine. While I don't want her back, the pain felt the same. How could I be so blind, so unaware? I tried to be a kind and supportive husband, but I must have done something to push her away. A year and a half later, and I am used to the life I now have. I see my kids 50% of the time, and I have a very nice girl that cares deeply about me. But that doesn't change the fact that I lie awake at night and wonder if it would just be easier to end it all. I had the life I dreamed of and I lost it. I know people say it gets better, but that hasn't happened for me. Now for the last story. Please help. Possible cheating wife. This is my first post. I'm sorry for the length, but there are a ton of details. My heart and soul are in torment and I don't know where else to turn. Backstory: my wife and I, both late 30s early 40s, had been married for over a decade and we have several children of a wide age range. Our marriage has had its ups and downs through the years, but nothing major of note. Normally, we make about the same amount of money. Due to the pandemic, I'm currently bringing home roughly 3/4 of the household income. We work opposite hours with different days off, so we rarely have much time together. Our personalities and habits are different as well. I'm a homebody and she likes going out and doing things. Also, she was previously married before we started dating. Her ex was a habitual cheater, which according to her, led her to have an affair and subsequently move out of their house, and later divorce. We are both heterosexual and I have never had any reason to doubt her declared orientation. Lately, I've noticed several things in the last few weeks that lead me to believe that she's having an affair. She started going out late at night to visit one of her female friends, a single lesbian. Before leaving the house, she always takes long showers, 30 minutes or so. I've noticed that much of that shower time is due to the fact that she has started shaving her legs and other parts religiously. In all of our years together, she has never shaved anything during the winter. She rarely shaves her bikini area during any season. During the late nights when she isn't visiting her friend, she is talking for hours quietly to her on the phone in another room while wearing iPods. She has always had a passcode on her phone and used to leave it laying around or plugged into the charger unattended. Now, her phone is with her 24/7. I haven't seen it unattended since this strange behavior started. She even tucks it underneath her pillow while sleeping. She never goes to work without full makeup, even though she has to wear a mask. She very rarely wore makeup to work since the start of the pandemic. Her friend is a co-worker. During Valentine's weekend, according to her, had to stay the night at a hotel right by her work because they needed her to work the next day. She stayed away from home an additional night for the same reason. She didn't end up working another shift that next day. She came home the day after Valentine's Day. Also, we live less than 10 minutes from her job. I'm now the sole initiator of all kissing and intimate activity. The frequency of activities hasn't decreased, but the intensity has vanished. She's not into it as much as she always has been over the years. We had a talk the evening that she finally came home after being away for 2 days. I didn't accuse her of anything, but hinted around about how her behavior had changed dramatically in recent days. She immediately got on the defensive and started gaslighting me. Everything was, "I don't know what you're talking about," shifting immediately to "I'm delusional, and everything is my fault." As usual, when things develop into an argument between us, I ended up apologizing for a plethora of things that had no bearing on the situation, and there was no resolve whatsoever. I've talked about this situation with one of my close female friends who has been through hell, and back in her relationship with her now ex-husband. She believes that I'm probably right about an ongoing affair. She also thinks there's a small chance that my wife is just generally unhappy with her home life. However, both of us agree that there are just far too many warning signs for that to be the likely scenario. I believe that my wife and her friend got a little bit too tipsy one night and it has progressed into a regular thing. As it stands, I'm completely lost, confused, and heartbroken. My anxiety is through the roof not knowing what's happening now and what will happen in the future. I think there's a good chance that she wants a divorce, but won't admit it right now because I'm paying the majority of the bills. I'm almost 100% certain that once her job and paycheck return to normal, I'm getting the boot. I'm turning to anyone with this experience to please share any thoughts and advice that you might have to offer. And that's it for this video, guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day, everyone.